Welcome to part 2. Please enjoy your time and let us continue. Genesis 3. Right, let's get back to it, shall we then? Right. Where were we? We were last at... Oh yes, here we go. The strange snake dialogue. To the man, he said, because he listened to the voice of your wife, and ate from the tree of which I forbade you to eat. Every day of your life shall yield you brambles and thistles, and you shall eat wild plants. With sweat on your brow you shall eat your bread until you return to the soil, as if you were taken from it. From dust you are, and from dust you shall return. To be completely honest though, that itself is quite normal, because why would humans be the exception of the rule in life? And this is where I think the whole threat of why I think religion never got to me. Not really. Because the whole thing about from dust you are and dust you shall return, that's fine. That's normal. Death is a normal cycle of stuff. So the whole from dust you are, from dust I will return doctrine, fair enough. We all have that. We are all mortal. There's no need to be scared about our own mortality. Your conduct in your own life will determine who you are and if you're a good person in that. So it doesn't matter. Let's continue. And this actually does finish up the Genesis 3 section as well. The man named his wife Eve because she was the mother of all those who live. Yeshua God made clothes out of skins for the man and his wife, and they put them on. Then Yeshua God said, "See, the man has become like one of us, with his knowledge of good and evil. He must not be allowed to stretch his hand next to yours and pick from the tree of life also, and eat and live forever." So Yeshua God expelled him from the Garden of Eden to soil the toil from where he had been taken. He banished the man, and in front of the Garden of Eden, he posted the cherubs and the flame of branching of a sword to guard the way of the tree to eternal life. This is what I mean in part 1 when I say, if this was done, like the sending in the cherubs to ensure, it never would happen in the first place. The Bible would not have existed. Anyway, this, ladies and gentlemen, is how the Bible is supposed to bring in the creation story of how humans is and the human suffering we exist. And to be quite honest, revisiting it is even more unconvincing than it was before. Because why on earth does this make any sense? There's many plot holes in the narrative done. If the point was that to defy God is evil, I don't even know what the point is, really, fundamentally, about this. In that sense, because when it's said, I'll actually see this for 2 seconds. I'm not going to take the piss too much all the time, but I will actually be serious for 2 seconds, because this is a proper analysis video. Then, the whole thing about the serpent thing, right? This only makes God seem highly inept. Why would you create the Garden of Eden the way it is designed? Makes zero sense at all. First things first, the tree of nourishments. Okay, fine. But why didn't God just secure the tree of knowledge of good and evil away from them? If he has the power, as he said he did in Genesis 1 and 2, to separate the lands from the earth and separate realms from realms, couldn't he make and ensure that people from the Garden of Eden never reach that state? This can be altered in so many ways to make it way better as a story narrative, because as it stands currently, it's just saying, as a creative being, they are not understanding and they are just a tyrant. So, that is Genesis 3. We are now on to Genesis 4. Or, otherwise, their explanation of murder and sin. Let's go on, shall we? How does the Bible explain murder and sin? Of course, those who know Christianity know, but those who don't might not know, whatever. Does not matter. Let's go anyway, shall we? The man had intercourse with his wife, Eve, and had conceived and gave birth to Cain. Oh god, this next line's awful. It's awful. I have acquired a man with the help of Yahweh, she said. She gave birth to a second child, Abel, the brother of Cain. Now Abel became a shepherd and kept flocks, while Cain tilled the soil. Time passed, and Cain brought some of the produce of the soil as an offering for Yahweh. While Abel, for his part, brought the firstborn of his flock and some of their fat as well. Yahweh looked with favour on Abel and his offerings. He did not look with favour on Cain and his offerings, and Cain was very angry and downcast. Oh, here we go. This whole trend of the Bible saying, like, appease God or God gets pissed off narrative is really quite rampant in it. It's a bit obnoxious, to be honest. Like, whoever did this made God to look like the most vindictive and annoying and egotistical person. Like, why would anyone worship this God? If you are so well disposed, ought you not lift up your head? But you are so ill disposed, is not sin at the door, like a crouching beast hungering for you, which you must muster? Cain said to a crouching beast hungering for you, Cain said to his brother Abel, "Let us go out." And while they were in the open country, Cain set on his brother Abel and killed him. Da da da. The apparent first murder in the Bible. Oh, in humanity in general. It's like, seriously, the Bible is so stupid how they want to show things. Because it's a bit silly of a characteristic. Yeshua asked Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" "I do not know," he replied. Am I my brother's guardian?" "What have you done?" Yahweh asked. Listen to the sound of your brother's blood crying out for me from the ground. Now be accursed and driven from the ground, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood at your hands. Jesus Christ. Yahweh such the Old Testament God is such a bloodthirsty creature, honestly. When you till the ground, it does no longer yield any of its produce. You shall be fugitive and a wonder over the earth. Then Cain said to Yeshua, "My punishment is greater than I can bear. See, today you can drive me from this ground. I must hide from you and be a fugitive and a wanderer over earth. Why? Whoever comes across me will kill me." "Very well then." Oh, that's funny. Yeshua replied, "If anyone comes across me, if anyone kills Cain, sevenfold revenge shall be taken from him." So Yeshua put a mark on Cain to prevent whoever might come across him from striking him. Cain left the presence of Yeshua and settled in the land of Nod, east of Eden. Descendants of Cain. Cain had intercourse with his wife. Funny words. As you can see, he gave birth to Enoch. He became a builder of a town, and he gave the town its name of his son Enoch. Enoch had a son Elad, and Elad became the father of Mechazal. Mechazal became the father of Mephibosheth, and Mephibosheth became the father of Lamech. Lamech married two women, and the name of the first was Ada, and the second was Zillah. Ada gave birth to Shabal, and he was the ancestor of the tent dwellers and owners of livestock. His brother was Judal, and he was the ancestor of all who plays the lyre and flute. As for Jadal, she gave birth to, oh my god, these names. These names. Tubal Cain. He was the ancestor of all metal workers in bronze or iron. Tubal Cain's sister was Namah. There you go. Lamesh said to his wives. Here we go. Said to his wives. There you go. It's biblical to have multiple wives. Enjoy. Anyway, let's continue with that when we go into the next section. Now we're back. Let's continue, shall we? Lamech said to his wives, Ada and Zerah, hear my voices. Lamech's wives, listen to what I say. I killed a man for wounding me. A boy for striking me. 7-fold revenge is taken for Cain, but 27-fold for Lamech. Seth and his descendants. Adam had intercourse with his wife. This is such a silly way of saying it. It sounds like an immature insult, to be completely honest. And she gave birth to a son who she named Seth, because God has granted me other offspring. She said, in place of Abel, since Cain has killed him, a son was born to Seth. He named him Enoch. This man was the first to invoke the name of Yeshua. Right, let's keep going, shall we? So that is the end of Genesis 4. A bit ludicrous still, nothing special to it. Like, honestly, it's just something like a terrible fantasy drama in which I don't understand. Just a terrible fantasy drama. Anyway, if you got anything out of that, see, so it just sounds like a completely terrible fantasy drama in which nothing really interesting happened, except for that, like, Be prepared for God being bloodthirsty, because it only gets worse, ladies and gentlemen. We are now on to Genesis 5. Now let's continue, shall we? This is the role of Adam's descendants. On the day God created him, Adam, he made him in likeness of God. Male and female, he created them. He blessed them and gave them the name man on the day they were created. Oh, what a heart-wrenching story. I'm sorry. I just can't take this writing too seriously. It's like, how do you worship this people? When Adam was 130 years, he became a father of a son in his likeness. I'm sorry, that's impossible. You can't do that. Yes, it's true, sperm can last longer in terms of, like, men, but if you're like over 100 and something, you wouldn't be able to do anything sex-wise, so irrational. And he called him Seth. Adam lived for 800 years after the birth of Seth, and he became a father of sons and daughters. In all, Adam lived for 930 years. Then he died. Whoa. Again, realistically, that's impossible, because if the immortality thing was destroyed upon leaving, why would that make sense? Human bodies would degrade so quickly by then. Living 930 years? Oh, sounds terrible, mate. Sounds terrible. Why do you do that? Anyway, keep going. When Enoch was 90, he became the father of Canaan. After the birth of Canaan, Enoch lived for 850 years. After he became the father of sons and daughters, in all, Enoch lived for 905 years. Then he died. When Canaan was 70 years old, he became the father of Raphael. After the birth of Raphael, Canaan lived for 840 years. this makes zero sense. Just reading it from the start without any subcontext, this makes literally no sense. There's literally nothing in our genes which can do that. Because when you talk about this is the origin story in Christianity for humanity and humans. Yet none of it makes any goddamn sense. Like, why would you develop like expanse of years for like 900 years down to like around 50 to 100? Losing that rate of life is excessive, don't you think? And that's like, if there was that genes, we would know about it, especially with science. So the whole thing of this is pure fantasy. Like, if anyone actually believes this, they're suckers. Continuing. When Jabal was 65 years old, he became the father of Jared. After the birth of Jared, Machfayah lived for 850 years. When Jared was 160 years old, he became the father of Enoch. After that, Enoch. When Enoch was 65 years old, he became the father of Melechra. Enoch walked with God. After his birth of Meholesa, he lived for 300 years and became the father of sons and daughters. In all, Enoch lived for 365 years. Enoch walked with God, then he vanished because God took him. I'm sorry, what? I am sorry. God took him. What is... Anyway, let's continue. We are now at, if you're curious, Genesis 5:25. When Deborah was 100 years old, he became a father of Lamech. After the birth of Noah, Lamech lived for 590 years and became a father of sons and daughters. In all, Lamech lived for 770 years, then he died. When Noah was 500 years, he became father of Shem, Ham, and Joseph. Okay, here we go. We are now at this stage, and it's like, what is the point of this? I don't understand. Like, this, I never understood, even when I was Christian. I understand it even less now. Genesis 6. Right. And now we go on God's little melodramatic genocide arc. Don't we all have a little genocide arc here and there? Well, here we have it. God's genocide arc. So, the sons and daughters of men. Wow. Oh, I can't take you seriously. I'm sorry. That's why he's terrible. When men had become to be plentiful on earth, and daughters have been born of to them, the sons of God, looking at the daughters of men, saw they were pleasing, so they married as many as they chose. Yeshua said, "My spirit must not forever be disgraced in man, but his flesh, and shall last no more than 120 years." There you go. There you go in the story, the reason why the age goes down. Still a bit rash of a move to do, especially if they can, again, you're a bit incompetent, God, aren't you? Anyway. The Nephilim were on Earth. And you know what, though? You're wrong. People can live more than 120 years. They actually can. With enough medical attention, you actually can live longer than 120 years. So, wrong, God. Another thing you got absolutely wrong. Science wrong, and you actually technically can live over 100 if you live appropriately, especially 120. You can especially live over 120. Anyway, let's continue. The Nephilim were on Earth at the time, and even afterwards, when the sons of God resorted to the daughters of man and had children of them. These were the heroes of days gone by, famous men. And here comes the genocide. Choo choo. The flood. How exciting! Yeshua saw that wickedness of man was great on earth, and that the thoughts in his heart fashioned nothing but wickedness all day long. So far, Yeshua has been nothing but vindictive, hostile, and aggressive. Is it any surprise why Cain and other humans who followed in the shape of God would be vindictive ourselves as well? No, just not surprised at all. It's like if you create, it's like in World Block God Simulator, and you make all your immortal heroes evil, vindictive, and paranoid. Of course, they're gonna be evil, vindictive, and paranoid because you made them that way. There you go, boom. Anyway, back to the point. So where was I? Yeshua regrets having made man on earth. In his heart grieved, I will rid the earth's face of man, my own creation, Yeshua said, and of animals also. Reptiles too. Oh no, not the reptiles, man, not the reptiles. You're really crossing it there. And the birds of heaven. And I thought I regret having made them. But Noah has found favour with Yahweh. Oh no, of course. Even the birds can't survive. Oh no, what have the birds done? That's funny. Noah was a good man, a man of integrity amongst his contemporaries, and he walked with God. Noah became the father of 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth grew corrupt in God's sight, and filled with violence. Really, Bible, filled with violence. You literally are threatening to kill and wound people already. And you want to complain about violence? Anyway, God contemplated the earth. It was corrupt. For corrupt were the ways of flesh of the earth. God said to Noah, the end has come for all things of flesh. I've decided this, because earth is full of violence of man's making, and I'm sorry, God, but didn't you, in this story, create mankind in your image? And now you complain that mankind is violent. A bit suspicious, don't you think? And I will efface them from the earth. Make yourself an ark out of this resinous wood. Make it with reams and line it with pitch inside. This is how to make it. The length of the ark is made out of 300 cubits. Its breadth is 50 cubits and its height 30 cubits. Make a roof for the ark. Put a door on the ark. Height 16 meters. I'm sorry, that's not big enough for what the assignment. You'll need something even greater than the biggest mega carrier in the world today for something like that, and one man and 3 children can't do that. Anyway, make a first, second, and third deck. I'm sorry, 3 decks won't be enough either. Not for the Ark. For the planned genocide to save a select number of human specimens and animal specimens, not enough. Sorry, God. Sorry, God. In your own Bible, you're a terrible logistics person. For my part, I mean to bring a flood and send the waters over earth to destroy all flesh on it. Every living creature under heaven, everything on earth shall perish. And I will establish a covenant with you. And you must get on board the ark. Yourself, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives along with you. From all living creatures and all flesh, you must take 2 animals of all kind upon the ark to save their lives with yours. They must be a male and female. Every kind of bird, every kind of animal, and every kind of reptile on the ground must go with you. Again, food logistics. You need a massive thing and a massive amount of supplies for that. Again, something the human population can't do if that's the assignment, in only saving very few people. And if that's the case, tormenting the wives to become breeding machines afterwards. And poor woman. Poor woman. Childbirth is so painful due to his own rules, and now he's forcing them to do it because he's wanting to genocide everyone instead of just sorting out this situation he made himself. Continuing. And they in a store of them and selling food. Noah did this. He did all that God had ordered him. Yay, genocide! Serious though. That's the end of Genesis 6. 6? Yeah, 6. And the end of this episode specifically, because I'm trying to keep them to a good length. I hope you learnt something from this, and if there's something you learnt about the Bible, especially Genesis, please comment below. I actually, despite all my parody and satire, I'm interested in what you have to say about it. So, toodaloo, and enjoy your day. Anyway, let's move on, shall we?